guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite robed up boys. I'm D, and this is Soapy AJ. We're hitting you with Season 4, Episode 23, The Bathhouse Blues. We're back at it. We missed you the last couple of weeks, so we get into it. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at PointsOPressure.
All right, so I want to start off. I got two things. Why am I soapy and wearing robes?
I don't know why you're soapy and wearing a robe right now, but you are. I'm just telling the people what's actually going on in the new studio, okay?
Okay, yeah. My name is Emmanuel. I need you to start calling me that. So the second thing is, I'm so sorry to everybody who I left with the Noid.
I'm not. I thought it was fun.
I'm so sorry.
I thought it was fun and worth it.
Those last couple of episodes, those were some bangers, I gotta say.
That shit slapped.
Yeah, so I can't wait to disappoint you all. Thank you for coming back, but just, don't get your hopes up. I'm not in a coke-fueled haze anymore, I guess. I'm clean. We're clean. 2 weeks clean.
Yeah, we're back at it.
Well,
back on that sober train.
Except for that last time I did coke yesterday, 5 minutes ago.
We're back on the sober train, except for when I drank just before we started notes today.
10 minutes sober.
Hey, I did it. I did it.
All right, so we've got a good episode.
So it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. You do anything fun?
What's new?
Oh, fuck. Got a new job?
Yeah.
Don't have to wake up at 3 in the goddamn morning anymore.
Exciting. Good stuff.
Extremely.
We went on a trip together.
There we go. Yeah, let's talk about the trip. That was fun.
AJ and I spent our longest unsolicited time together. I don't know.
Unsolicited?
I don't know.
That was a wrong word.
Yeah, fuck it. But yeah, we spent, Friday through Sunday together? Yeah. It was magical.
It really was. We lucked out. We were fucking...
so you guys know,
those places were all so much more beautiful than I thought they would be. Holy shit.
So, the post about 1 like equals 1 fire ant bite to AJ's tip backfired. And
did nobody like it?
Nobody liked it, but the fire ants didn't like it, and I got bit by a fire ant, and it fucking sucked.
You did. Oh, you were in such a shit mood.
Oh, dude, it fucking killed, man. That shit burns.
That's why you don't wear flip-flop. Sorry, that's why you don't wear your thong over a fire ant hill.
Yeah, well, I also didn't really account for the fact that the fire ant hill was at our fireplace. But yeah, it was fun. We went out to Vernal, got drunk. I got hit on.
No, hold on. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
First place we stopped is at a Chevron in Salt Lake.
Oh yeah, so yes, this is true. Yeah,
very. Basically, think of a stereotype of a gas station attendant. Older lady, no teeth, graying.
Not just a gas station attendant, a Chevron. Gas station attendant.
Yeah, no teeth. Immediately hitting on D.
And if you work at a gas station, a Chevron gas station, send us a picture of yourself so that we can show everyone else what all of you look like.
No, but it was fantastic. It was just after D got finished telling us the story of how he was eye-fucked earlier that day.
Yeah, so that same day I was walking out of work, and you guys won't believe me if you knew what I looked like.
I still don't believe it.
But I was leaving work in the financial district. And this girl with they were like those weird little glasses. You know the videos of people that make sunglasses out of colored knives now? You seen that shit? It's dumb.
Fuck no. Why would I do that?
I don't know. But they were like those little glasses. She gave me the little tilt the glasses down, elevator stare, and I was like, did I just get eye fucked? I just had a very long, hard day at work, and I probably looked angry. But yeah, so I got eye fucked on the street. It was magical. Told the story to everybody as we pulled up to the gas station, and then I got hit on while we were buying ice cubes for the cooler,
which had almost no food in it, just mostly beer.
Yeah, and they also what they had some weird jerky flavors and shit.
Oh, yeah, and we were making fun of it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, no, we were talking about the Tostitos, and they're like, I can throw some on. They'll be ready in 25 minutes if you want to wait.
Yeah,
Like, just sitting on the roller as it thaws.
We walked past, and I
Fuck's
turned to
sake.
AJ because you knew at that point that you had gotten the job, right? No?
No.
Oh, I don't remember. But we were like, I was like, hey, do you want a pre-jerky, like...
I might have known at that point.
I was just like, yeah, these fucking hot dogs are as tough as the jerky that's on the shelf. And she's like, if you want, I can heat them up. They're probably going to take about 20 minutes. And I look at AJ, I was like, do you want to spend 20? Who the fuck waits 20 minutes in a Chevron gas station? And mind you,
This is a small one.
Yeah, these are like the ones that their focus is on the gas and not the convenience store.
Yeah, it's like like two phone booths next to each other.
Yeah, everybody knows what those gas stations are. They're just
I hope so. They're teeny.
It's a tiny little bathroom.
Yeah,
size.
essentially.
So I was like, why the fuck would anybody wait in here for? Yeah, I'll wait here 20 minutes for a slightly
Gas
warm
station.
taquito that's going to make me shit myself later.
Yeah, at the beginning of the trip. We were going to hit off the trip with a bang.
Yeah. So, she attempted to flirt. I don't know if she was
flirting.
She was weird. Apparently, I was hit on all weekend.
Trip, and it was fantastic.
I didn't do it.
Because we were with our significant others
yeah.
the whole time, and like it's not like it wasn't obvious. We weren't acting like we weren't together.
I wasn't trying to get fucked.
Get a nice gummy.
Yeah, unless it was in front of AJ at the hotel.
Well, yeah,
by AJ.
that happens. Yeah.
So yeah, we drove out to Vernal. Beautiful drive.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, if you like deserts,
I fucking love the desert.
If you don't like deserts, it is a terrible fucking drive. But it's pretty.
Well, it's just like if you're driving through Kansas, if you hate corn, it's going to be an awful drive.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of beautiful plateaus.
Gazelle.
Yeah, almost hit a few gazelles. And then got to Vernal, set up in the jankiest, most like beautiful hotel I've ever been in.
Yeah, so we walk into the office and homeboy is microwaving some fish. I swear to God, it is like a wall slapping.
Honestly,
the face.
it felt like he was heating up a McDonald's fillet of fish.
Yeah.
It smelled
where he already
god-awful.
sucked off the breading. Now he needs to microwave it to heat it back up. Like it was bad. And then we went to the room, and the whole time we're all thinking, not saying it.
And he was weird as fuck.
Oh yeah,
so he took forever. My girlfriend had put it on her credit card because I don't know. She was like, "Oh, it doesn't charge you up front." I don't know. She had some reason for it. So she hands him her card, and he's like, "It's declined." And she's like, no. And she goes, "Run it again." So he swipes it again. Yeah. And mind you, he speaks like I don't think he was really saying words. He would just go, "It's declined." Like he was so quiet.
Yeah. I hope that gets picked up.
Quiet as a mouse. And so I was like, it's all good. I got it. So I give him my card, goes through, and she was like, "What the fuck?" Pulls up her account and shows us. She's like, "I have money."
Yeah, everything's fine.
We trust you. And then he gives me the key. So we leave, and we're like, "Yo, we're gonna get fucking like murdered in this hotel."
Yeah, this is like a motel, just
dude.
2 levels of doors, flat asphalt in between it.
Yeah,
a slightly stained greenish pool.
I was gonna say the pool that looked like it was fucking green. Key wouldn't work at the door, and we're like, "God damn, we gotta go back in there." So we go back to the front office. He is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he's probably slobbering down that filet-o-fish
He's just
in the back.
gobbing. And I stand in there for like 5 minutes. Some other lady comes in. She was like, "Is anyone working?" And I go, "Yeah, I don't know where the fuck he is, though." So finally he pops out because I literally go, "Hey, excuse me," like 3 or 4 times. He comes out like wiping the edges of his mouth, getting the old like 3-week-old catfish off of there. And I go, "Dude, this card isn't working." And he's like, "Okay," and just like taps it on this thing, and he's like, "You should be good." I was like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you do that earlier?" So go over, we unlocked the door, and it led us into one of the nicest hotel rooms I've stayed in.
It was insane. It felt like the what the fuck is that Futurama? The confusing door.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
The scary door.
The scary door.
It was the weirdest
It was insane.
shit. Because on the outside, it looked like you would get stabbed with a shiv that somebody snuck out of prison.
Yeah.
And on the inside, it was so beautiful. Like, I felt bad putting one of the paintings upside down before we left.
I forgot about that. A lot of that weekend is a blur.
Yeah, it's a good time.
No, it was fantastic.
But yeah, like, it was such a nice place. The only problem was the AC was total garbage.
Oh yeah, and we are hot boys.
Yeah, I found out that I snore even harder when it's hot. So that's
yeah, you do. Holy shit.
So we go out to dinner. We go to like the Vernal Brewing Company. Really good drinks, really good food. I drank some Mother's Milk, which was one of the like porters that they had.
No. Hold on. You got to remember. So we walked in, and there were a bunch of people around there. Like, it'll be 30 to 45 minutes. So we're like, yeah,
and the dudes right in front of us were all so fucking stoned.
Oh yeah, out of their mind.
All of them.
So we were like, okay, yeah, we'll wait. They have like a little garden kind of around the corner in the back. So we're sitting there. Your girlfriend has her vape, and we're like,
oh my god.
Oh yeah. It's on vacation. Let's get a little stony baloney.
We're right next to the border of Colorado. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's whatever. So me and my wife take a hit, and we're like, okay, awesome. Wow, that was really harsh, and we cough a whole bunch. More than I was expecting. Like, okay, weird. I must have just gone down the wrong pipe. Whatever.
Oh god.
We sit down inside after about 30 minutes, and I look at her, at my wife, and she's looking at me, and we're like, what the fuck is happening? And we start talking to your girlfriend about it, and she's like, yeah, that's 95% THC.
Yeah, this shit'll knock your titties off.
It was the hardest thing to order.
Yeah,
anything. I kept looking at everything. I wanted everything on that menu.
So I tell him, I was like, yeah, order a flight. You get like a handful of different beers.
A float. Flight. I was high. I don't remember.
High. You don't remember any of that conversation. So
vaguely I do.
Fuck it. This whole episode's just going to be us talking about this vacation.
That's okay.
So I go, hey, like, order a flight. And he was like, what?
What the fuck is that?
It's like, they give you like little glasses. You get to try a handful of beer, like a couple different ones. And then if you want to order another one, you just have to finish those first. He was like, okay. So he's reading through them. Lady comes up.
And this is where our troubles began.
And this is where the vacation went from good to not so good for D. So
it was great for everybody else.
I hated it because I was trying to just order my shit. And she was trying to, like, fuck me. I don't know. So
it was so weird.
So she comes up, he is
like, a gas station attendant / server magnet.
And it's not like she was gross or anything. It was just bro, I'm clearly sitting here with, like, my girlfriend who's leaning on me. Like,
hand on the shoulder, because she picked up probably 25 minutes before we picked up on it. Because she had to mention that it was happening. So this lady comes over, and she looks at me and says, all right, what are you getting to drink? And I go to just start ordering. She goes, not you, and points at AJ's wife. So AJ's wife is like, I don't know what to get. Orders some stuff. She gets my order last, and I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know shit. But when I'm ordering, all of the things that I'm ordering, I guess you can't get in a flight because the alcohol percentage is too high. Yeah, can't have it on
so
tap. So
I'm like,
in this
I'll
get
this one, okay. This one, okay. This one and this one. Okay, I can't do those last two. Okay, what about this one? No. This one? No. This one? No. Okay, what about these two? Yeah, I can do those. It's like, okay, for sure.
Well, you forgot about the part of her giggling after everything you said, even if it wasn't funny.
I mean, I don't know. So, the thing is, I do not remember, like, I remember the whole dinner. I didn't know any of that happened.
I didn't recognize it at all. So, but apparently the ladies were like...
So I order, like, we get nachos for the table.
Which never came. I'm still fucking pissed off about that.
I mean, the dessert was okay, but...
I didn't want dessert. I wanted nachos.
I would have fucked with some nachos. That's some solid stone food.
You might have put out if she gave you nachos. Remember that.
So, let's see. Yeah, order nachos, and we're sitting there. All of us finish our drinks and shit. And we're like, where the fuck is this lady? Like,
Oh, yeah, she was gone forever.
I mean, she had to help that table that had like fucking 90 kids at it.
Ugh.
And Adam's wife keeps turning. She's like, stop swearing. There are kids right there. And I was like, I don't give a shit about these kids.
Yeah, because we both just kept swearing loudly. Do not take us into public.
Yeah.
I mean, it was loud and it was busy, and it's a fucking brewery.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally just our podcast, but we're sitting with more food in front of us.
Yes. Finish my pretzel.
Yeah, so we get, like, what, she comes back and takes orders, and I ask if I can get something else. She was like, yeah, for sure. Apparently sultry as shit. I don't know. And at this point, my girlfriend hasn't said anything about her hitting
not
on
a
me.
single word. She's just been moving slowly closer and closer and putting her hand on your chest.
So...
And then my wife is looking concerned.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, dude, this food fucking rocks.
That food was amazing.
Drinks
oh
were
my
great.
God.
They had like a jalapeno.
Oh, yeah, that beer was so good.
Jalapeno lager, was it?
Yeah.
It was good.
It was fucking delicious.
They actually have that at a bar in Salt Lake.
We gotta go.
The next week. And I was like,
Damn.
oh, shit, they've got it. We'll go this week.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be working down there.
Do they start at 4?
Yeah.
Oh,
I go right after work.
Perfect.
So let's see. So she brings out, or she comes back and she goes, oh, hey, apparently they never put in my nachos order. And she comes out and she's telling us the weirdest shit. Like, everyone in the back is just so angry. And we're like, we don't fucking care. Like, what the what? She's like, yeah, apparently when I put in your nachos order, they didn't want to take it. I don't know. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, if we're not getting our nachos, it's cool. Just, like, don't put it on my tab. So she's like, but I'll replace it with dessert.
No, she said a free dessert.
And we're like, okay, cool.
These desserts suck because desserts at restaurants fucking suck.
So we get dessert and shit, and she comes back. And, like, she had fucked with me a bunch of times. Like, I would order something, and she would go, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. Like, why is this lady fucking so rude to me, man?
Yeah,
like,
I love that that's how you were interpreting it.
I was just like, yo, why is this? Whatever did I fucking do to this lady? Because she was just, like, snarky as shit. And I was like, what the fuck? So she comes back with our checks. Or she hadn't brought checks. She had just brought the dessert. And my girlfriend turns to me. She's like, let's get fucking checks. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. I was like, whoa, what? What the fuck?
Okay, it was slightly less angry than that.
Yeah,
it was just like, let's just fucking go.
She's like, let's just fucking go. We need to get our checks. This bitch. And I was like, whoa. And AJ's wife and my girlfriend just look at one another. And my girlfriend goes, she's been hitting on you all night.
And my wife's like, yeah. Obviously. Like,
and I'm just like, AJ and I look at one another. I was like,
what?
Huh? Like, who? Dumb man brain no process. And we're just like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way.
No, not at all. Like,
she comes back and she's got
heavy,
the checks.
Heavy horse girl vibes, by the way.
Yeah, big time. So at this point, I'm on the warning. I've got my first warning. I've flipped my card to yellow, and one more time it's going to
red, and then you're going to be sent to the principal's office.
So she comes back and she goes, "Okay, I have the 2 checks. You guys have to guess what the cent number is to get your check."
And I'm out of my mind at this point. I'm cross-faded as hell. I got a full stomach. I ate most of that dessert. And I just shout out a random number. I don't even give a shit. So like 53.
My brain was immediately just like, if I don't guess, does that mean that I don't get the check? Like, this is cool.
All right.
So AJ guesses like 4 times, and she's like, okay, cool. She turns to me, and I just shit out a number because I was like, okay, now she's playing games. I get where she's going with this. I can see what she's trying to do. And so I just go, I don't know, 36. And she goes, you cheated, didn't you? And I was like, oh, fuck. fuck. And she's like,
the card is being lifted in this moment.
She's like, did you look? You looked, didn't you? You totally saw it. I was like, no. And I'm doing my best just to not even look at her because I was like, fuck, man. It is, mind you, it is the day before my girlfriend's birthday. We did the whole trip for her birthday. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, I felt really bad after that. And so she's like, oh my God, that's just so crazy. And she gets to check, and both AJ and I just immediately look down at our checks and just start focusing on that instead. And she like trails off and leaves. We sign our shit and just fucking we dip out.
Yeah.
And then we fucking gas station too.
Oh,
this
my
whole
God.
episode is just gonna be this one.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of time. Don't you worry.
So we go back to we're headed back to the hotel, and we're like, hey, we should probably stop and get something to drink for like tonight and tomorrow because, you know, liquor stores aren't ever open in Utah, especially in small areas. Mm-hmm. So we go to, was it another Chevron? I think
it was another Chevron.
Yeah, so we go to another Chevron, and same kind of setup. It's got the gas pumps on either side of the really small convenience store.
And it was the bathroom.
Yeah.
We went to get the bathroom key.
So we go in, and AJ and I are just fucking pumped full of beer. And so we get the bathroom key. AJ's fucking like lit.
Oh my God.
He's
I was
drunk
cruising
and high at this point. And I mean, I had eaten pretty much the entire drive to Vernal. And so it's like everything's absorbed. I didn't smoke. So I'm like, okay, I got this. Like,
I was not driving. I do want to point out I was not driving.
So we go in, walk towards the back to find the bathrooms. No one is here. No one's in this like gas station.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this lady just pops out behind the fucking coffee machines, and she's like, "You're looking for the bathrooms? Are you looking for the bathrooms?" And she sounded like that too. And we all just kind of look at one another.
It was
and
terrifying.
We're like, what the fuck is this city, dude?
We're getting murdered.
And she goes, like, AJ and I are like, yeah, we got to go to the bathroom. She's like, okay, I got the key up front, but it's on a, like...
cowbell or something?
Yeah. It's on a cowbell so that people don't steal it. And I was like, who the fuck steals a bathroom key? Like, she goes, my manager put it on there so no one steals it. We're like, okay...
Oh, and the bathroom was in
like
the car wash.
Yeah.
So you had to go past the pumps to the car wash. I forgot about that.
Walk in the dark for like 50 feet. So we get to the bathroom, and AJ and I are like, dude, was that the same fucking lady
it looked like
from
the
Salt
exact
Lake?
same fucking lady.
Same woman, I swear to God. The only thing that changed was her voice. So I go back because I was like, I'm not going to stay out here. Like, AJ can walk back by himself. I don't give a fuck.
I did not step another foot into that shop.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, yeah, you came around the front.
I came around the front,
and
I was
backside. You went around the backside.
and I think I was twerking to your girlfriend. There's nobody on the streets. I'm in the dark.
She needed a little love after her fucking boyfriend got hit on before her birthday. So I go back into the gas station, and I grab the fucking, what are they? 16-ounce cans of
Coors Banquet.
Coors Banquet beer. When the Rockies are blue, it's colder than it is in the Rockies. I don't fucking know what their tagline
That's exactly what it is.
So
it's like a banquet in your mouth.
Oh, Sam Elliott, you dirty dog. So I grabbed like a 18-pack? I don't know. I grab a bunch of them, walk up to the front, and the lady scans them, and she goes, are they better in these cans? And I was like, I don't know. We're going to find out.
They're shit anyway.
Yeah, I was like, we're about to find out, but, I mean, they're both aluminum, so I can't imagine they're going to taste much different. And, like, she asks if I want the receipt. I don't even remember really what, like, brought it all on. Oh, no. So, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's all going to taste the same, especially after working in the factory. And I use that voice straight back at her. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. I go, yeah, after working in the factory all week. And I was like, oh, shit.
You realized you made a mistake, and it's wonderful.
And she goes, what was it? She's like, working in a factory. You ever worked in a factory? And I go, yeah, look at these plush hands. You think that, like, anything's happened to these soft things? And, like, immediately I was like, oh, fuck. Like,
you opened the door.
I'm fucking flirting with this disgusting like, fucking woman. And she's like,
I'd like to feel those soft hands all over my peckers.
She's like, would you like a receipt? And then says all this other shit. I don't remember what it was, but at that point I was like, I need to get the fuck out because I'm blowing this again. And I turn around, my girlfriend's standing right there, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, you're good. Well, we get back into the car. AJ walks from behind the fucking gas station out of the dark.
I was trying to score some meth.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have found it out there. And we all just start laughing. I was like, I did not even mean to fucking hit on that woman. It was just a fucking mess. It was hilarious. And then we went back to the hotel, smoked and drank even more. We played poker, and I ended up playing my own cards into the
into the river.
into the river.
Oh, fantastic!
So yeah, like those couple of nights were good. We took a little trip and
so the next day we drove down to the desert, more desert, and down into deeper into the reservation that's up there, the Uinta Ore. I think it's pronounced Ore reservation. And there's a little place out there. If you're ever in the area, it's totally worth it. Just bring a lot of gas and water. It's called Fantasy Canyon. It was
and if you have a bunch
beautiful.
of kids and you're going for a reunion, don't fucking go.
Don't go there. Ugh. It was like 90 degrees. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And it looks like another planet, basically. I don't even know how to describe it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. The best way I can describe it is it looks like if... So you know when you go to the beach and you have like wet sand and you do those little like drop towers where you just like drip sand onto itself?
We were too poor to go to the beach.
Oh my God. Fuck off. Mud then. But you just like drip it onto itself and it builds these weird little like towers. That's kind of what it looks like all over.
Yeah, and it just emerges from the desert.
Yeah, you get like all these weird little sandstone like caverns and like holes in the formations itself. It's really cool.
Super
at least like if you can't go, at least look up Fantasy Canyon, Utah.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's from a fucking Star Wars set.
Yeah.
Like it's weird as shit.
Super cool.
So
we drove out from there.
Yeah.
And we just kind of I had plenty of gas because I fixed my car. Apparently I was just hemorrhaging fuel because there was a pressure sensor out.
You only had to fill up like twice, right?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was insanity. So, if your check engine's light, actually go check it out.
Jesus.
But we basically took the long road so that we would cross over into Colorado on a dirt road, and we would pop out near Dinosaur. And there was one building. It was just in the middle of nowhere with a weird pipe coming out the top, and there was a sign on the front that said "Danger Collapse Zone." So of course, took out the good old trusty multi-tool and opened the door, and it was crazy. There was like a collapse, probably 10 feet down. It looks like it was used as like a well, a water well.
Yeah, like an old water station.
Yeah, so a little filling station thing. Then we drove from there. There were a couple buildings that wanted to get to, but I don't like to go past 2 wires of decently fresh barbed wire.
Yeah, it was like an old...
a mill or something.
Yeah, I think it was like a mill that was just... We could see it in the distance.
Like an ore mill, not like a lumber mill.
But it was just, like, rusted as shit, and it just looked dilapidated. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. And then we just kept driving through, and suddenly we were on a paved road, which was really weird. Yeah, and there was these huge, basically, cuts down as far as you can see and down as far as you can see. Probably what, like
perpendicular to the road.
yeah, crossing the road, and they had these big timbers across, kind of supporting the walls, and there were these big signs, and it was fenced off. Said these were cut a long time ago. Don't go in there. You'll fucking die, essentially.
Yeah, danger of like collapse and shit.
Yeah. So then we were like, oh, weird. Just past that, it looked like a bunch of windbreaks, but it was filled with rock or gravel or something.
It looked like the gravel they use for asphalt, like that black, really really black oily stone, just all over in there.
Yeah. So we just past that, there was a little fence and some building. It's just kind of down the hill. And it said something like American Gilsonite Company. It didn't say no trespassing, but the fence was locked. We're like, okay, we can... There are no tire tracks. The road is completely covered in sand. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody's been here in a while. So we figured, we'll leave the car on and running off the road. For the dog. And we'll just run down there real quick, take a look, come back up. So we ran down. There was, like, a huge warehouse. There was... and it was full of shit.
Oh,
like spilling. So I really want to find, if anybody knows how to report potential environmental issues, let me know, because it was spilling out into the environment, and they did not look like clean chemicals. I'd like to report it and get it cleaned up, but it was like up on a hill kind of, and there were chutes, and the ground was covered in this black rock, pretty much the same stuff that was up in those bins or whatever it was up at the top, and it was crazy, multi-storied with railings and catwalks, and like there was an electrical box, or a room full of electrical boxes, like transformers and shit, a conveyor belt, a mixer, a truck loading bay. Like it was huge. It was really cool. And I came home later and looked it up, and it was a gilsonite processing plant. Apparently, the gilsonite in that area is just unique to the other kinds of gilsonite, so they. It's used in a lot of different things. Just Google it. But, they actually built a railroad in the area because they were pumping out so much of this gilsonite stuff. So that was super cool.
Yeah, it had this, like, old, like, rusted staircase that went up to a higher level that was up on, like, a cliffside.
Yeah.
But it looked like a giant, warehouse, more or less, where they would take in like trucks and everything. It was huge. It looked like an even bigger area up top than it was lower, where they had like all the
loading
and shit,
tailings and stuff. Yeah.
Super super cool though.
We got to go back with more time and more water to really get up to the top. Maybe some ropes
when it's not like 107 degrees.
Yeah. Let's see. What did we? So then we made it to Dinosaur.
Yeah, got some dino treats.
Yeah. Went up to Dinosaur National Monument, Colorado side. Went off-roading a bit to get to the campsite, and it's like this. It's a huge fucking rock in a bend in the Green River, and then we're on the other side, and we're in just sheer cliff faces on either side of us.
Yeah. Oh my
And on the
God.
way there was a cave, there was an old like abandoned ranch that we got to poke around in.
A bunch of
petroglyphs. Tons of petroglyphs, which are fantastic.
Yeah, the cave itself was super crazy. So it's like it was right in the side of the mountain or the cliff face, and it's like this low hanging little area. You like just duck your head under to get in.
We could walk straight through.
Yeah, we could walk through, but if you're of normal height,
if you're not a manlet,
yeah. And then on either side, it looks like there's this big slab that's like suspended way, 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 way up. But on either side of that slab, you've got like these skinny tunnels that go
shimmy space
all the way in. Like you're basically just standing sideways, shimmying down. And even with like a super bright flashlight, you couldn't even see the end of it.
Yeah, it just kept going and going. It was almost like a slot canyon.
So cool.
Yeah, and it was cold. It was
Ice
blasting cold air.
Yeah.
So that shit continued. Like,
yeah, it was super cool.
We went to both sides of it, and we couldn't see the end.
Yeah, our big old tummies got in the way when we were trying to shimmy in.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, who's like built like a twig, just like got way back in there and was like, "Yeah, dude, you still can't see shit." Mm-hmm.
My wife would have gone, but she doesn't like small, dark,
dude, I don't blame
tight
her.
places.
As soon as it would touch my back and my stomach at the same time, I was like,
ooh,
I'm out.
Okay, yep, let's back
fucking
up.
out.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. The drive itself, like, what? That was like an hour on a dirt road from the top, that 13-mile drive.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Like, switchbacks,
Yeah.
river crossings, like...
dude, gorgeous.
It was beautiful, though. Like, the whole time it was sheer cliffs, like... As pretty as... If you've been to Bryce Canyon, it was very similar in a lot of things.
Yeah, big
it was
time.
very beautiful.
Lovely. And then, yeah, we got to our little campsite and set up. I'm trying to think. Like, we were pretty exhausted because it was a long day of driving.
Yeah. Lots of hiking, lots of driving. But we got hydrated.
Yeah.
We ate some fajitas. Chicken fajitas.
Set up my girlfriend's new tent, which it was a 6-man tent, which I still don't believe that was made for 6 people.
Yeah. No,
There's
mine's a 6-man
way.
tent.
Yeah, yours is
and
fucking huge.
your guys's could fit one blow-up mattress.
Yeah,
There's no way that's a 6-man.
Even then, it pushed out the edges of it. So I didn't know that she got like a toss one.
Yeah, it's super
So
cool.
I'm like unpacking the car, and I just hear,
Thump, and we both look over.
and I look
it's
over,
like,
and
tent's ready.
I was like, "Did you set that up already?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Is it a throwable?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, god damn it." So went and staked it down, got everything set up on it. The thing is a bitch to put away.
Yeah,
The thing,
they always
it
are.
It took us like 45 minutes to figure out how to fucking fold that thing back up. But yeah, had some good old fajitas.
Yeah.
AJ made some good shit for us.
Food.
And I blinded a fly.
Yeah, you did.
So,
It like stumbled around.
oh god, dude. So we lit up a joint and we're just hanging out smoking. And I have the world's brightest fucking flashlight.
You're welcome.
It was nice.
It's
but
super
like,
nice.
It
I
really
bought it for caves.
It felt like I was turning on the sun.
Yeah.
So I've got it, and I had used it to go to the little bathroom that they had, clicked it on, and was like, I couldn't see, pointing it just at the ground because it was so fucking bright. So I didn't know that you click it twice and it would go a little bit more dim. Still bright as shit.
Oh yeah.
So get back to the table, and I'm talking to AJ about it, and I was like, bro, this shit, like, this is bright as fuck, dude. And he's like, yeah, click it twice, it'll go dimmer. And our little lantern was attracting flies and like moths. So I look over and there's a fly sitting right next to me. And so I just moved the flashlight over the top of it. And I was like, hey guys. And they all turn and look, and we're all just like, we're stoned.
We're
and
tired.
Drunk, tired, fucking done. And I go, watch. And AJ's wife is like, no. And I clicked that thing, and I basically tossed that fly into the center of the sun. Like, if flies could scream, that thing is just like, oh my god, man. That just all of the LEDs on the planet are shining into that, like, all billion of that fly's eyeballs. And just unclick it after like 5 seconds, and it just kind of like is turning.
Yeah, it's not flying. It's not walking. It's just turning back and forth.
It's just spinning, and all of us are laughing our ass off. And like, I don't think we ever really looked back at it, but
Nope.
We turned off the lanterns and looked up at the stars and shit.
Mm-hmm. Got to see
I'm
the
sure that
galaxy.
thing like just crawled somewhere and waited for all of the blind spots in its vision to come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looked at the stars, which was gorgeous because you didn't have any of the light pollution from any cities nearby.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
were
out in the middle of
super
nowhere.
far away from cities.
So when you would turn out the lights and let when you would let
Your
your
eyes adjust.
vaginas adjust to the light, when you let your eyes adjust to the light, you could see like just barely the cliff faces and trees that are around you, and then like just from the moonlight, and then just the most beautiful stars. You could see
Cassiopeia.
Milky Way galaxy.
Milky
and
Way
shit.
Galaxy.
Oh,
One of the
dude.
dippers.
It was so beautiful out there.
No, it was gorgeous.
100% worth it. We definitely need to go back there for another weekend.
Yeah, it was, and so this campground is first come first serve, but it's so far in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
that there were barely a quarter
there were,
of them.
5 spots still open, and they had
and there were only 11 spots.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was awesome.
It was gorgeous. Got to go back when it's not as hot.
Oh yeah, big time.
And then so the next day we were driving back. This is after D is pissed because he got bit by an ant.
Dude, it hurt so bad.
And
I was just trying to help with breakfast, man.
And we are driving back, and the second we cross over back into the Utah side, there are just locusts everywhere.
Oh my god, dude. It was that way on our drive there too.
Well, yeah.
So
just
we cross back into
thick.
Utah, and we're driving, and we just see all these big brown spots all over the road, and we're like, dude, what the fuck are those? Because they're
they're not moving.
It
really.
looked like somebody just spilled 4,000 pounds of Whoppers everywhere. Yeah.
Why did we think of that? What the fuck is wrong with us?
But it looked exactly like that. We're like, what the fuck? So I tell AJ, I was like, hey, slow down real quick. And he's like, all right. So he gets down to like 5 miles an hour, and I just open my door, and I was like, hey, stop. And he stops right next to one, and I look, and it's just a big fucking locust. I was like, dude, it's the telling.
Yeah, it's the apocalypse.
Lord's coming back, baby, and he's burning these lands.
Yeah, I'll stay on the Colorado side. They didn't have any of those. It was really weird, because you cross in and out of the border a couple of times.
Interesting.
And every time we dipped into the Utah side, there were some. There were a bunch. I shouldn't say some. There were a ton.
There were a lot. But yeah. The weirdest shit, man. And then I'm trying to think. We pretty much the rest of I tried Pepsi Blue.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the fuck that was. Not good.
Well, it's Pepsi.
No, Beppis.
Oh,
we fucked up.
Pepis.
We
Fuck.
Gave it away.
Fuck.
My
trade secret. All right.
Totally fun trip. Though.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
It was amazing.
So now that we're usually as long as the episode usually runs, this is going to be a long episode. No, let's do it.
Do you want to? Okay.
Let's do it. I can burn through this story.
Okay.
Because we already named it Bathhouse Blues, and I've already edited this one 4 times.
That's true, yeah.
Because you keep saying my name, we're out of practice.
That's a good point. Yeah. What has it been, a month or something?
Yeah, it must be. So we, so this is going to be...
So the Bathhouse Blues.
Bathhouse Blues, yeah. Now that you get to know about my mini vacation...
Yeah.
The next weekend, I went camping again, by the way.
Yeah,
it was
true.
fantastic. Right. I was zoinked and drunk the entire time. I bought Pabst hard coffee, which sounds gross.
Oh, dude,
tastes like chocolate milk.
It's so good.
That was the breakfast beer. I had a lunch beer, and then I had cocktails for dinner.
I didn't talk about it, but while we were in Colorado, I got this really good butter pecan moonshine.
Yep, that was the lunch, or that was the dinner cocktail. The nightcap, actually.
Yeah. Oh my god, that shit's good. I'm
still
taking
up in the
home
fridge.
tonight.
Do it. You deserve it.
Oh, amazing.
So So back to Bathhouse Blues.
Yeah. So
let's set the scene. Back when everybody was basically camping all the time.
Really curious though.
Yeah.
Did you want to go rinse off? Because you're still really soapy.
No, I like the bubbles.
Okay.
That just reminds me of the video game Gun. There's a guy in there named Soapy.
Soapy, that's you.
And he's like a scumbag.
We're going to change your name for the show. It's D and Soapy.
D and Soapy. Very good.
Soapy D.
I'm going to suds up with Soapy D.
Oh, God.
All right, so 1872,
Ooh.
February 1st.
Oh, there it is.
Andrew Kehoe is born. We don't know a lot about the family that he was born into, but he had 2 parents. He was born in Tecumseh,
yeah.
Michigan. Mm-hmm. Tecumseh, Michigan. There we go. That sounds better. He had 13 siblings. His father was named Philip. His mother was named Mary. Everybody had fucking 13 siblings at that time because they were trying to recover from the fucking Civil War. So he had a fairly normal childhood as far as we know. He went to Tecumseh High School, and then he went immediately to Michigan State University, where he studied electrical engineering. pretty advanced for that time
Yeah, not
period.
bad.
Like,
What year is this again? 19 or 18?
he was born in 1872, so this probably
okay,
would have
this is
been
probably-
1890.
Okay.
Maybe a little before that, but yeah. At the college, he actually met his future wife, named Nellie Price.
Who had dropped out of ITC Tech.
Yeah, definitely. She was actually a Harvard graduate.
Ooh, it was a Harvard
No,
girl.
not at all. Not at all.
okay.
I don't even think she graduated. I have no idea, though.
Me neither.
But she was a member of a very wealthy family from Lansing.
There it is.
So after college, he went to Missouri to work as an electrician. He's like, all right, let's make some bank. And the way to do that is to go to Missouri, I guess.
Yeah, Missouri, a Missouri electrician.
Yeah.
They make buku bucks out there, I hear.
Oh, yeah.
Based on all of the BuzzFeed articles I've been reading.
Definitely. So I think...
On the 1890s.
On the 1890s, yeah. Definitely. So he's... Let's see. The time periods are all weird because they don't have it mapped out. I got to do the math. He was born in 1872. In 1911, he's still working as an electrician, so he's 40?
39.
Yeah, almost in his 40s. He fell and hit his head. Slipped into a coma for 2 weeks.
Ooh.
So that's a decent TBI.
It's a doozy.
After this, he had some health problems for some reason. And he moved back in with his father and his brand new stepmother.
Are we doing another, like, early 1900s electrician episode?
Oh shit, we are.
I'm like, this
Damn
all
it.
feels way too familiar.
This should have been our what our podcast is all about. Just
We're
early 1900s
This is
electricians.
season 4. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. We hit episode 22, and we're actually, so the Noid, we're now regressing, and we're going to do repeat episodes
Yeah.
backwards.
Exactly. We peaked.
We're just mirroring.
We peaked.
We're mirroring episode or season 4.
Yeah. So now he hated his stepmother. He thought his dad got married too fast. He also just didn't know her. And, I mean, he's acting weird because he's 39. He's almost 40.
Well, and
Be a
he
fucking
just
adult.
got a fucking, like, didn't he just get head trauma?
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
But, like, be an adult.
Head trauma in the
You're not married to her.
1910s, like, that's some shit.
Yeah, that's some shit. So, strange thing happened pretty soon after he moved back in. September 17th, 1911. His stepmother was lighting their oil stove when it just fucking exploded.
What?
It covered her in just burning oil.
Oh.
So what's the one thing that you don't do with an oil fire?
You don't throw water on it.
Yeah, Kehoe fucking had a bucket of water and dumped it on her,
Oh, God, dude.
engulfing her entire body head to toe with boiling, burning oil.
Well, she basically just explodes at that point.
Yeah,
Good.
she died the next
God,
day.
Well, no shit.
No, she didn't die right then? What the fuck?
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
She survived, like, another day from those
Yeah.
burns? Dude, fuck that.
Yeah, no, just fucking kill me. Take me out back. I don't give a shit.
God, dude.
So there were some allegations that the stove was tampered with, but nothing was ever pursued legally.
Interesting. It's almost like there was an electrician at home
And you'd think that
didn't like her.
a college-educated 40-year-old man would know not to dump water on an oil fire,
Head
considering
trauma.
he was raised in the area where raised in the area where everything was oil. The
But-
lights were oil. Like,
But you also figure this dude got a pretty major, like, brain trauma.
yeah, very
maybe
major.
brain trauma. Even if he got a
Yeah.
concussion, I feel like they're
I mean, he was in a coma for 2 weeks. That doesn't...
Yeah, they were
don't
treated
just
so
recover.
poorly back then. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, you bonked your head? That's too bad. Back to work." Like,
I mean, no, that's how it is now.
yeah, that's how it's been. But even then, I feel like they didn't do any checks or anything on that,
Well,
so
yeah.
it makes sense for him to just be like, "Oh my god, fire! What puts out fire? Water." Because I mean,
I like your line of thinking.
it makes sense.
Keep that in mind.
Okay,
The head
all right.
injury.
But I do
that in mind.
think he might have tampered with it.
Well, there's no allegation that it was him who tampered with it. It was just
there
something
is
was
now.
wrong.
It's
You are making the allegation. So, 1912, he turns 40 and is like, I think it's about time to settle down. I'm probably going to die in 5 years because the life expectancy is shit in this area. He moved back to Michigan. He got married to good old Nellie Price.
Oh my God, he was a 40-year-old virgin.
Not necessarily.
This is the 1910s. And
Not necessarily.
He has a head injury.
The head injury, maybe. But he got married in 1919. So 7 years later, they've been married for 7 years. They bought a 185-acre farm outside of Bath, Michigan, for $12,000 from Nellie's
married
aunt.
in 1919?
1912.
Oh, okay.
1919, they moved.
Oh, okay. I see.
So it was a $12,000 mortgage. Which,
God damn, dude. That's how much you pay a year, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty damn close. Fuck.
God damn.
So that would have been $322,000 in today's money. And this was written last year, so little more than that.
Mind you, that's $322,000 in today's money.
Yeah.
But in today's housing market, it's probably a $4 million home.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Well, it's 185 acres. It's a big house. It's got off buildings. It's got farm buildings, sheds, shacks. Like, this is primo shit.
$322,000 will buy you what? Like one plank of wood?
Yeah. A 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bathroom is a hole in the floor. But they paid $6,000 in cash. They were able to save up our equivalent of $150,000, $160,000. But, again, of course, our wages haven't increased as much as inflation has. So
this is fair.
It would have been easier to do that. But then they got a $6,000 mortgage. So, not bad. That's primo. If I could fucking pay cash for half of this house,
dude,
that would... Oh, my God.
And if we ever find a way to go back in time, I know when I'm going back.
Yeah?
Well, no, because it would fucking suck. But...
Well, this is what you do.
You go back and you buy the land, and then you come back with it in your name,
with the
hopefully still being the same person, in the off chance that someone who purchased that land didn't end up like turning into a serial killer. You never know.
Well, it depends on the type of time travel that we have.
Yeah, too many chances.
If we have the kind where the paradox where if you go back, you can't really change much.
Yeah,
the timeline will adjust.
That's the one I want.
Yeah,
that it doesn't change much.
So you go back in time, you buy a bunch of land in the middle of nowhere, and then you set up a trust that specifically says it can only be the land can only be claimed by this person with this social security number, and then you show up when you come back in time.
Bada bing.
Boom.
That's where it's at.
55 acres. Yeah. That's it. That's all I...
Jesus.
So let's get into who Andrew Kehoe was as a person at this time, because now he's in his 40s. He's an established person. Like, you're not changing too much at that point. He was a neat, clean, and intelligent man. A lot of this comes from neighbors, people who knew him, family members, stuff like that.
Okay, so the head trauma isn't really like... It's not totally fucking with
He
him.
seems pretty normal at this point. It's been some time.
Okay.
So,
even though he did literally murder somebody,
maybe.
I think that
Maybe.
I would consider that murdering.
I wouldn't.
If you throw water onto someone that's on fire because of oil, you've murdered.
But you had a
coma.
You were in a coma. You got head injury. You don't know.
Oh, so now you're defending him.
Yeah, I am. I know how the story turns out, and I think he's the victim.
Oh, okay.
And
I still think he's it.
Just remember that line too.
I've switched.
Yeah. Just remember, I think he's
him.
the victim.
Okay.
And I did these notes. So he
Fuck you. This is like. So you came over to my house. So we're gonna play the game how I want to.
Yeah, we're gonna play a 2-player game, and I'm gonna unconnect your controller.
Always win at Monopoly.
That's true.
That's the house rule.
Yeah.
Is that you have to give your money to me.
So he had a short temper, and he was a cheaper bastard than I am. This dude was a fucking penny pincher.
Oh. That's cheap as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Especially back then when everything was like 25 cents. Mm-hmm. And that's expensive.
They initially started going to a Catholic church, but they pretty soon weren't allowed to attend anymore
See,
because he refused to pay for the parish assessment. So, like, it's like a voluntary but not really donation. Not really.
It's like tithing.
But it's kind of like a tithing, yeah. So they couldn't go to church, and all of his neighbors, his farming neighbors, were like, he's not really a farmer. He just likes tinkering a lot. You know, that engineering brain. He would experiment by trying to put multiple tools on the back of a modified tractor, and normally it didn't work.
Okay.
But, like, he was trying all sorts of fancy shit.
So he's like a mad scientist, but just a mad engineer.
Yeah, he's a mad engineer.
This
usually
sounds a
failed.
lot like you.
Maybe I did go back in time.
You might have. It wouldn't surprise me.
He was also known to hold grudges against even the smallest mistake. The smallest slight, he would fucking put that away, put it in his brain, and lock it up.
Just put this in the back of my brain until I figure out how to put, a rototiller on the back of my tractor that's a rototiller that's long enough to cover an entire city block and chop all of my enemies into fertilizer.
Yeah, he definitely held grudges a lot.
So still,
I think it's
so
called
much like you. Okay.
an injustice collector, I think is what it's called.
Oh.
So, like, anytime you have any kind of injustice, you collect that and you remember it until you can get your revenge.
Oh, God.
That's what he's considered in today's terms. I don't know if he actually did that.
I envy the amount of dedication that
It takes so much brain power. Like, what the
Jesus.
fuck? So, then his character review kind of goes down from here.
Now
His neighbors
now you're not
found
gonna
him
victimize him as much.
to be really cruel to his farm animals, which is shitty.
Uh-oh.
He literally beat a horse to death.
What?
Do you know how hard it is?
Bare-fisted?
Yeah, to beat a horse to death.
Fuck.
Fuck this guy.
What did the horse do to him? Because I know.
It did not perform to his expectations.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest, if a horse doesn't perform to my expectations, I will punch it in the face repeatedly until it fucking dies. No.
Say psych.
No.
Say
God.
psych right now.
Psych, of course. Fuck.
Like, yeah.
That's a big ass animal. I can guarantee I would not even be able to punch like a cat to death.
Yeah,
that's so
not at
much
all.
work. Holy
Not only is
fuck.
that work, but imagine the lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't kill an animal. Like,
And
what
that's
the
like,
fuck?
That's like a
I've only
slow
killed
way
one
to
animal
kill something,
before.
too.
I mean,
How many times do you think? Well,
it was probably
this
hours.
This is a dumb question. Never mind. Because I was going to say, how many times do you think he had to chase it down to punch it a second time? Not taking into account that he probably just had it tied to a post.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking it's like a wild horse, and he's just like, boom,
chasing it down.
boom. I was like, oh shit.
That's a better
you
look.
fucking idiot.
So, yeah, this dude was, in my eyes, that's like,
Oh yeah, that's fucking.
that's
terrible.
scum of the earth shit.
Okay, so is he still the victim?
Yeah.
What?
Just continue. Just hear me out.
No. Okay.
So no,
All right.
he's an asshole.
Okay.
I will admit he's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
He was elected the treasurer for the Bath School Board in 1924, basically because of his reputation as a cheap bastard. They were like, okay, well, he's the treasurer. He's not going to let any money flow through, which kind of backfired on the board because he would fight for lower taxes, and he would basically argue against any spending, no matter how completely essential it is. It's like, we have one math book to share between all of the students in this the Bath Consolidated School. And he'd say, no, we don't need more. They can do one. They can deal one.
Jesus.
He would argue against the rest of the board, even if it wasn't related to Treasury at all. And then if he lost, if he didn't get his way, he would call for an adjournment. So he'd say,
God.
we'll come back tomorrow.
Jesus. So he's a 1920s Karen.
He's
a
a Karen.
1920s HOA Karen.
He was a little baby. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then he, throughout his time as treasurer, he would continuously accuse Emery Hoik. Yeah, that's probably right. Hoik.
What is it, the names? What?
It's Michigan.
That's
fucking
fair,
Michigan.
Yeah.
He was the superintendent of the school district, and basically he would accuse him of financial crimes. The financial crime being taxing to pay for the school.
Crime against humanity, honestly.
There was, because of this was a newly constructed school. This cost a lot of money. It cost a lot of money to maintain, basically because they went from rural schools being spread out everywhere, teaching a whole bunch of different stuff, to a consolidated school. So they had to get transportation for people in more rural areas to the school, more teachers, and they would do, it was like a 1 through 12 school. Like, they would do everything.
Well, better go beat the superintendent to death.
No, he's not a horse.
Bare fist.
He's not a defenseless animal. You can't get off that way.
No, better just go rig his fucking oil stove to explode.
And then dump water on
and
him.
then throw the worst thing I could onto him, other than more gasoline.
So, he argued, the one tax increase that he argued the most against was from $12.26 per $1,000 of value to $18.80 per $1,000 of value.
That's a big hike.
That's a big hike, but that's per year per $1,000 worth of value.
Okay.
He fought this so much, like it's a big hike, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the biggest hike.
It's not huge. It's just like, damn, that's a 50% hike.
Basically,
but
everybody.
I'm not a stingy bitch like this guy.
Yeah. Everybody basically was on board in the town and in the areas because they're like, yeah, well, now we have a great school. Like, awesome.
Does Keo have kids?
No.
Ah, okay.
Not as far as I know.
All right.
I don't remember if he had kids.
I doubt it.
I don't remember it. It wasn't mentioned in his story.
I'm sure he's shooting blanks. I mean, the dude's like fucking 55 at this point.
Well, this is 24 or 8. So
he's 53.
50. He's in his 50s. Yeah. He actually went as far as to attempt to pay off some dude to falsely lower the value of his land.
Oh shit!
Like to get an assessor in that would say that it wasn't worth as much as it really was.
Okay, yeah, I definitely take back the thing about the head trauma and the water. He knew what he was fucking doing.
So taxes went up again from 1880 to 1980 in 1926.
Jesus.
You kill that beetle.
No. I'll blind it. Where's that flashlight?
Kill that beetle while I'm talking. So, he was pissed in 1926 because it went up again. In total, across 5 years, his taxes per year increased by $76, which at the time, in their money. So it actually increased $1,155 a year. Or total, I guess, across those 5 years. But it's a paid every year kind of thing. That bug's going to get drunk.
Yeah, or it's going to get crushed in the threads.
Or that.
Whoops.
So, yeah. It was... Yeah, that's a decent hike. Across those 5 years.
That's... Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand
if my taxes went up $1,000 in 5 years, I would have to leave this home.
If, just my fucking income taxes went up that much, or even just a little bit, and it didn't go up for, I don't know, maybe the top 5% of people, I'd be pretty fucking angry too.
Yeah, for some reason. Unrelated. So, in 1925, though, so a year before the second increase, he was appointed the township clerk in Bath. Basically, the other person left or was fired, I don't know.
Or he killed them.
Or he killed them. So he was appointed township clerk, where he continued to fight the losing battle against tax increases. In 1926, the election came around. Basically, the idea was, you're appointed, but if you want to stay in this, in 1926, the election starts, you have to campaign like anybody else. Where he drastically lost.
Oh. You don't say.
Yeah, completely lost the election.
It's almost like people realized that putting a penny pincher in charge, not such a good idea.
Yeah, not going to pay for campaigns.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I'll campaign door to door. It'll save me a dime.
Wait, time is money? No, I won't.
Save that too.
So after his complete loss, he viewed it as a public humiliation.
Wow.
His neighbors noticed that he basically stopped farming. He stopped working regularly. people were worried he was going to kill himself, essentially.
Oh. Are you about to pull another Noid episode on me? Another suicide episode?
No well... There is suicide in this story.
Okay.
But that's not the main focal point of this story.
Fair. That's fair. I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
Right.
So, during the last couple of years, I think it was like the last 5 years up to this point, his wife was in and out of a hospital because she had tuberculosis.
Oh.
So, at this point, there's no treatments, there's no cures. The idea was, let's bring him out to a sanatorium in the middle of nowhere and hope that the fresh air... The treatment was fresh air.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, essentially.
Jesus.
So, pretty soon, Kehoe stopped working regularly. He stopped paying the mortgage, stopped paying the insurance. So the aunt basically contacted them and said, hey, you're paying this mortgage to me. Like, we're going to foreclose on you if you don't pay. He didn't respond or anything. And foreclosure proceedings started, and he was pretty beat up. Basically, when approached with the foreclosure proceedings, he said, well, if it wasn't for this $300 tax increase, I could have paid for this.
Yeah.
Not the fact that he's just not working regularly, not producing anything on his farm. Yeah. He's just doing basically odd jobs using his electrician background.
Huh.
So during the summer of 1926, after his defeat, he got a bit of a gig working in the Bath Consolidated School, pretty much alone. He worked in the basement for the most part, doing electrician work.
And in his spare time, he would go to
drag his balls across the principal's desk.
Yeah. No, in his spare time, he would go to the local raceway. And anytime a horse would break its leg, to save money on bullets, they would just have Kehoe beat it to fucking death.
Yeah, don't forget that. Yeah, so it was interesting. So May 18th, 1927. So this is the summer after he set this up. Sorry, I got allergies or something kicking in, but I can burn through this last part.
It's the basement fumes.
Yeah, I'm not used to it yet.
Studio fumes kicking up from these 1970s rugs.
Oh, yeah. So, May 18th, 8:45 a.m., Kehoe's farm exploded.
Oh, what the fuck?
Boom! Exploded in a huge fireball. The neighbors arrived, because, that's what you did. If something fucking burns down, you run and you grab a bucket, and you go to the well, and you bring buckets of water. Like, it's going to take too long for firefighters to come in.
Especially if it's an oil fire.
Yeah, especially if it's an oil fire. So all of his barn, his outbuildings, his field was bombed.
Good God.
Yeah, like he didn't just do the house. So the neighbors basically came running. They broke into the house through windows. They saved all the animals they could. They were looking for survivors. They pulled out furniture, personal belongings. Like, these dudes knew what they were doing. They were just jumping in, taking everything out that they could.
And Kehoe was nowhere to be found.
No, Kehoe was there.
Oh, he was
Kehoe was there.
Oh, he was inside.
He was helping. No, he was helping to pull shit out.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he was helping to pull shit out. He was there.
Okay.
Basically, the whole idea is their life is burning up, so somebody's going to talk to them and keep them separate. Kind of distract them. So one volunteer climbed in through the kitchen window and found in the corner just a couple boxes stacked up. Open it up, dynamite. Just sticks and sticks of dynamite. So he fucking takes those out of the house before they catch on fire.
Ooh.
He's like, what the fuck is happening? And that's normal for farmers at that time to have sticks of dynamite.
In their home, though?
Well, usually stored in a barn. But it's normal to have them because you'd use them to clear rocks, boulders.
Yeah.
It was common.
It's fair.
So it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Imagine, like, not that I would be running into someone's house if it were burning, but imagine going into someone's house and you just find a box of dynamite sticks.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
It's like, what the fuck are these for? Oof.
Boulders.
Yeah, right.
So pretty soon after, Kehoe shows up, and he jumped into his truck and he told all the volunteers, leave the farm, go down to the school. Uh-oh. And he was like panicked. So he's driving his truck down to the school. At the exact same time, 8:45, Bath Consolidated School fucking exploded.
Oh, fuck.
The whole thing. Boom. So 8:45 is when it exploded. Class started at 8:30. It was full. Like,
What the fuck? So wait, so the house and the school blew up at the exact same time.
exact same time.
Oh my god.
The detonator was an alarm clock.
Ooh.
Like, you know, one of the with the two bells and the little
Yeah,
hammer.
yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those.
God damn.
So, yeah, basically, almost everybody was in attendance. Immediately from the initial explosion, 38 kids were dead.
Jesus.
DOA. A first grade teacher who was interviewed later said, and I quote, "The air seemed to be full of children and flying desks and books. Children were tossed high in the air. Some were catapulted out of the building." Like,
God damn.
like that's how much force was in it. These kids were ejected.
Do they know how much, like what it was?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
So one dude raced back to his farm. He basically realized part of the roof had collapsed and there were 6 kids down there. Nobody had any rope or anything. So he said, "I'm going to go back to my farm. I got some heavy cable. I'll be right back." So he's driving back to his farm and he crosses past Kehoe.
Yeah.
Kehoe waves, smiles. He could see both rows of teeth.
Teefs.
A huge smile. And they drove by and it's like, what the fuck's happening with that guy?
He's just glad he doesn't have to pay taxes for that school now.
So Kehoe shows up and in his truck and he's hanging out the window, a good old Ford. And he says, "Superintendent, come here. And superintendent comes over. Suddenly there's a struggle. Somebody who survived was watching this, and Kehoe's pulling up a gun, but the superintendent is pushing it down so he can't get shot. And then the truck explodes,
What the fuck?
killing the superintendent and Kehoe immediately.
Jesus.
A couple people who survived the initial blast, a couple kids, were then killed in the truck blast.
Oh,
Like, holy shit.
god damn, dude.
Yeah, Kehoe's truck was filled with shrapnel and dynamite.
Fucking hell. Like, I was expecting a dark episode, but for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, no, this is fine. This is happy.
That was a quick little switch there.
Oh, do you want to go even darker?
I thought it was
I wasn't even gonna...
I thought it was a slow ascent into madness. This is like...
I like the slow, normal, fucked up.
Yeah.
This is like the serial killer. The Nazi serial killer.
Yeah, like you... Would you say you dropped a bomb on me or something?
I would not say that. That's insensitive.
Shut the fuck up. God.
So, yeah, obviously Kehoe was the brains behind this operation.
Okay.
As
Not
you could
the
tell.
victim.
No. So let's go really dark. I was going to keep this part out because it's so dark.
Yeah,
at least
put
to
it
me.
in there. Let's do this.
During the recovery, people were going through his farm, basically see if anything survived, see if they could find anything, and they found that in the horse barn, the horse's legs were tied with wire together so they couldn't escape the firebomb.
Oh my god.
That's how shitty this dude was. This dude is
Jesus.
scum of the earth. This guy's runner-up for worst person that we've ever covered, and we've covered Hitler.
Yeah.
Like,
Holy fuck, dude.
this dude's bad.
This is fucked. Ooh
Yeah,
wee.
horrible dude. Just wait until I get into Nelly.
God damn.
Because we don't know where Nelly is now, probably at a sanatorium somewhere.
Yeah.
So during a recovery, one of the wings of the school didn't explode.
Okay.
So they went down into the basement and they found 500 pounds of dynamite.
Oh my god.
And gallons and gallons of pyritol and gasoline. Pyritol is like a precursor to napalm. It was used during World War I a lot.
Oh, shit.
And because they had so much left over from World War I, they sold it to farmers to basically burn weeds.
Jesus.
But it was an accelerant. 500 pounds of dynamite was in the basement in that area.
In just that one wing.
Just that one wing.
Fuck. How the fuck did he get all this dynamite?
I'll tell you how he got the dynamite in a minute. So the drugstore was actually staffed. It was run by a doctor from World War I and his nurse. They actually worked in combat together. So they immediately turned that into the triage center. Hundreds of people, basically switchboard operators, were calling everybody they can from anywhere they got hundreds of people to work in through the night. They would bring anybody injured to the drugstore. They'd triage them. The town hall became the morgue, and everybody fucking worked together to just try to drag anybody they could
just
out of there.
bodies out. Yeah.
It's just corpses at this point. There was a post office worker who was down the street when the truck exploded, and the shrapnel took off his leg.
What?
And killed him. All down the road, for like 100 feet, the cars burst into flames because of the gasoline.
Oh my!
So there was just fires everywhere. They actually sent in firefighters from, like, professional firefighters, which were pretty rare at the time, into the town to help them with their recovery effort.
Just because everything was fucking
Everything was on fire.
Good Lord.
Let's see. Yeah, hundreds of people. They worked through the night to just go through everything. Because they had not only the school and then the secondary explosion, but they also had the farm.
And what year?
Which was burning.
What year is this?
1927.
Oh, okay, cool. So, just right before the Depression. That's great.
Yeah. You're definitely feeling the Depression at this point.
God.
Like,
You're just like, oh, we have so little. And Keo goes, just wait.
you're going to have less.
You have no idea.
Yeah. So
God,
they found Nellie. She was checked out 2 days earlier from her sanatorium. She was found dead and charred in a wheelbarrow in the hen house.
He had already killed her before.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It is suspected that she was murdered before the explosion. They basically the chicken coop was supposed to explode, but it didn't go off. It burnt, but it didn't explode, I guess. So it was burning, but they got it out. And she was surrounded by silverware, like actual silverware, valuables. There was a lockbox, but nobody ever found the key. But you could look inside, and it was just charred money, just burnt cash. So he surrounded her with all of their wealth and burned it so nobody else could have it.
Jesus.
Let's see. So in total, a couple days, everything's kind of dying down. 45...
Yeah, things are fucking dying down.
I think it was 38 children. 45 total people died, 38 of them being kids.
God damn.
And 58 people were injured.
Jesus.
Yeah. So basically, so what happened? That's what I got next to my notes.
Yeah. Fuck.
So, what happened from depressed guy probably going to kill himself to everything's on fire?
So, remind me again what was it that his wife left? She went to where did she go again?
Hospitals. She was in and out of hospitals for a couple of years because of tuberculosis.
Okay, so I'm wondering, unless you want to give your...
No, go ahead.
Approach first. So I'm wondering if, he saw her as more of an expense and she was basically destroying everything he worked to create, because obviously he didn't take responsibility for it. He didn't take responsibility for
anything that he ever did.
Their total tank in wealth, their complete demise, because
he would have gotten a fucking job if he took any responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, he would have continued working on the farm. He would have continued working after he got demoted. And so it was
probably one of those
fault.
Grudges that he had.
Yeah, it's the city, or the city's
bitch
fault
of a
that
wife's
he's not
fault for
the
getting
treasurer.
tuberculosis.
And so because he's not the treasurer and getting paid for that, now his wife has tuberculosis and she's charging us even more money because she's in hospitals and she's going and getting fresh air because I'm loading our house with fucking dynamite. But I feel like he saw her as something that was taking all of his money, all of his resources, everything he had worked to create. And so I'm wondering if that's why he put all of the money in with her and said, you know what? If you're going to take it all, then you're actually going to fucking take it all. And kills her with all the cash.
I don't know. I think it could have also just been, let's just get rid of all this shit. I think what happened to her was a side effect that was allowed because he was going through with his larger plan to blow everything up. Yeah. So he's like, well, I may as well close off this grudge too.
Yeah. God damn, dude.
Yeah. So after his defeat in 1926, Kehoe had began buying sticks of dynamite and pyritol, I think let me see. Yeah, pyritol. So you could just go to stores and buy a box of dynamite. Nobody would say anything weird.
They're farmers.
Yeah, he was a farmer. So what he would do is he would go town to town, and then every month he would go buy a box and go town to town to town to town.
Just buy everything up.
There was also a construction site that was robbed of, like, hundreds of pounds of dynamite that he was a suspect in, but they weren't really pursuing anything.
What was his last name?
Kehoe.
What was his first name?
Andrew.
Andrew Kehoe. I want to see his face, so you can keep doing your thing.
You're going to find some other things I'm going to go over first. Don't look at his face yet.
Okay.
So basically, he'd been robbing construction sites and just getting as much gasoline and gas cans as he could. He was an electrical engineer, so he could figure out his whole, like, explosive, I guess, detonator was arcing electricity, gasoline fumes, ignite, which then burns the dynamite, which causes them to explode.
Jesus.
So pretty low-tech blasting cap-style technology, but it worked. So it was discovered in, after 500 pounds of dynamite that was discovered in the undestroyed place. He put in fake pipes in the basement of the school full of dynamite.
Oh.
And then put them in so people wouldn't touch them.
Oh, shit.
There were bamboo fishing poles that were just, like, in the rafters in the basement, because they would just store, like, shit down there, full of dynamite. Jesus. Sticks and sticks of dynamite. There were just jugs and jugs of gasoline everywhere, which, if you weren't somebody who was looking out for that, you'd say, oh yeah, that's where they just store extra shit.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. So
he's got access to everywhere, so
yeah, he was completely alone.
Everything. Yeah.
In fact, somebody who lived next to the school saw him go in there at night all the time, like multiple times.
Jesus.
Multiple trips a night, and she told the cops, and the cops were like, he's probably just doing work. Never pursued
Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. So he planted all this shit. It was found on the fence around his property. There was a sign that he made that said, "Criminals are made, not born."
What the fuck?
So he basically...
he victimized himself.
Yeah. I'm the victim here. You made me do this.
I wasn't born
He's the
this
Joker.
way. Oh,
you made me into the Joker.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He thought he was the victim. So then he bombed a bunch of innocent kids who had nothing to do with the tax hike.
Jesus Christ.
So my idea, he obviously held a grudge for his failure to be elected and for the tax increases, which was primarily used to pay for that school. So he took it out on the school, which included the kids.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily blown up the school when it was completely empty. Like, he didn't have to do it. He timed it.
Yeah, he timed it
after
so it
people
could
are
be,
there.
Yeah, I mean, he knows when school starts.
Yeah.
He works there. He
Yeah,
knew exactly what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. But he showed a lot of signs that we understand could be indicators of violent crimes.
What? No.
Yeah, obviously
what?
the head injury. A lot of serial killers or serial rapists and things like that have head injuries, have horrific traumatic brain injuries. A lot of them, this is more more of a stretch, but he obviously had an understanding of fire. A common thing is a fascination with fire. Rigging a stove to explode and burn someone to death.
Yeah, and harming animals.
Harming animals is one. So
huge identifier.
The fire starting and the animals, that's 2 of the 3 of the McDonald triad.
Yeah.
The other one being pissing your pants over the age of 12, which we have no idea. Yes, indeed. You know exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's the third one?
Those are the 3, yeah.
Cruelty to
animals,
I thought you were just
starting
fucking
fires,
with me.
And pissing the bed over the age of 12.
AJ.
And then...
AJ.
It's not pissing the bed if you're pissing the memory foam. And it's also not pissing the bed if it's for sexual purposes.
If it's always wet dreams. Oh, God.
You don't pee during wet dreams.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, right?
Oh, poor guy. Oh, no. So basically, he couldn't take responsibility for his own shit.
God
so he blamed everybody else for him becoming a murderer.
God damn, what a fucking nutcase. Can I search what he looks like?
Yeah, go ahead. So that's a long-ass episode, because this was basically 2 episodes in one. We could have
split this, so we're not going to do one next week. No, I'm just kidding. We totally will.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is it's the worst disaster at a school, essentially.
Jesus.
So
that school is fucked up
Yeah.
too.
In term, I'm surprised more survived.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
really,
how many people survived.
Probably wasn't like the strongest dynamite, I'm guessing. I don't know.
It was full strength dynamite.
I mean,
you know?
like, I'm just saying, like, it was.
It was 500 pounds.
Yeah. I'm just.
That dynamite.
I'm not saying that it didn't do anything, because it definitely fucked up that school. I'm just saying, like, in my mind, because I don't have a concept of how dynamite works.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I can tell.
fuck you.
You're thinking of
even then-
ANFO. The explosion that
yeah.
that you're imagining is fueled by ANFO, not necessarily dynamite.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about explosives, AJ.
Yeah, I can tell. I know a lot about explosives. I was
I
there.
know.
I mean,
Yeah, you were trying to make deals on your land with your time machine.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, though.
So yeah. Also, yeah, I think that head injury definitely played a role. Plus the fact that he got married so late.
Yeah.
That something wasn't quite right with this dude. Which, I mean, at this point, everybody can see. Did you find a picture of him?
Kind of. It's like a picture of he and his wife. It's not a very good
Oh, I didn't see his wife. Let me see.
I think that's his wife. Maybe.
That's an old woman. I don't know if that's his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. It also might just be like a photo while he was being a dicky treasurer somewhere.
So one second.
Mm-hmm. Good, dude.
All right. So the image that's going to be on this episode is a picture of the sign.
I saw that. Like, I glanced and I saw it, but I thought it was like a grave. I thought it said chemicals are made, not born, and I was like, what the fuck?
Hey.
But yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to start this
Lord.
next batch of episodes with just a horrible,
worst
evil
shit.
human being.
Remind you what Pressure Points is all about. Telling
Exactly.
you about the terrible, terrible shit you will never learn.
This is my apology for the Noid.
Yeah, that was a good apology. I'm impressed.
All right, well, my
God
allergies are acting
damn.
up. We should
Yeah, we'll tie this up. Do you have the Patreon pulled up?
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, what's up?
One more thing. During the rebuild, they had to stop rebuilding 3 times because they kept finding more dynamite.
Oh my god, dude.
He had so much in there.
Good lord, I'm pulling up Patreon. If you guys ever have show suggestions or suggestions for anything, by all means, reach out to us. We love hearing from you guys. Your feedback is always appreciated. I've
got it.
need to... yeah, you do those. I gotta pull up something else.
What? You
Yeah.
have more?
Yeah, you do
All
your
right.
thing.
So, thanks for our Patreon subscribers. Check us out, patreon.com/points-o-pressure. We're actually putting out some more sloppy seconds
Finally,
later
we're
on
doing
this
it.
week. So look out for that. We recorded a couple of them, and then we're going to be doing some more. We're going to be a lot better about that, especially with my new job. It's going to be more chill. So, D's Nuts, Nordic Thunder, Toddle Waddle, Dark Runner, Haley, Casey McFacey, thank you so much for all your support. What?
Is that their name? I don't know. I don't know this person. You know them better
Haley?
than I do. Yeah, sure.
Which we have, I just mentioned Haley, but different Haley.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing on Instagram, getting our name out there a little bit. I told you I'd give you a shout out, so truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
We'll see you bastards next week.
We're back.
The boys are fucking back
The
in
boys
town.
are back in town. Boys are back in...
Kill
fucking
us.
kill me. All right, we'll see y'all later.